Emma Martinez thought she had found her forever. She was 26 years old and had been dating Ryan Carter for 4 years. 6 months ago, he proposed to her on a beautiful beach at sunset. "I'll love you forever," Ryan had promised, sliding the diamond ring onto her finger. Emma worked as a teacher at an elementary school. Ryan was a successful real estate agent. They planned to get married in 3 months. Everything seemed perfect. Emma's best friend, Lisa, sometimes worried. "Are you sure Ryan is right for you? He's been acting weird lately." "You're just being protective," Emma laughed. "Ryan loves me, we're getting married." But Lisa had noticed things Emma hadn't seen. Ryan was always on his phone, texting someone. He came home late from work meetings. He seemed distant. Emma was too happy and busy with wedding planning to notice the warning signs. It was a Tuesday morning. Emma was at school teaching her second grade class about dinosaurs. The children were laughing and having fun. During lunch break, Emma's phone buzzed. It was a text from Ryan. Her heart dropped as she read the words. "Emma, I can't do this anymore. We're done. Don't try to contact me. I've moved out. Sorry." Emma stared at her phone in disbelief. She read the message 10 times, hoping she had misunderstood. A breakup, through a text message, after 4 years together, 3 months before their wedding. Her hands started shaking. Tears filled her eyes. The other teachers noticed something was wrong. "Emma, are you okay?" asked Mrs. Johnson, the older teacher. Emma couldn't speak. She just showed them the text message. "Oh my God," whispered another teacher. "What kind of person does that?" Emma rushed home after school. Her heart pounded as she unlocked the apartment door. Ryan's stuff was gone. His clothes, his laptop, his guitar, his books, everything. It was like he had never lived there. The only thing he left was the apartment key on the kitchen counter and a short note. "I'll pay my half of the rent for this month. After that, you're on your own." Emma collapsed on the floor, crying. How could he do this? Why didn't he talk to her face to face? What had she done wrong? She tried calling Ryan's phone. It went straight to voicemail. She texted him, begging for an explanation. No response. She called his office. His secretary said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Carter said he's not taking calls from you." Emma felt like her heart was being ripped apart. The man she loved, the man she was supposed to marry, had thrown her away like garbage through a text message. Lisa came over that evening. She held Emma while she cried for hours. "I need to know why," Emma sobbed. "What did I do wrong?" "You did nothing wrong," Lisa said firmly. "Ryan is the one who's wrong. Breaking up through text is cowardly." Lisa started investigating. She called mutual friends, asking if anyone knew what happened. Finally, Lisa's boyfriend, Mike, who was friends with Ryan's brother, called back with news. "Emma," Lisa said gently, "you need to prepare yourself. This is going to hurt." "Just tell me," Emma whispered. "Ryan has been cheating on you for 6 months with his coworker Amanda. They're together now." Emma felt like she'd been stabbed. 6 months. That meant he was cheating even before he proposed. "There's more," Lisa continued quietly. "The wedding. Ryan never actually booked the venue or the caterer. He took the deposit money, your money, and spent it on Amanda." The next day, Emma had to face the worst part, telling people the wedding was canceled. She called her parents first. Her mother cried. Her father was furious. "I never trusted that boy," he said angrily. Then she had to call all the guests who had been invited. Each phone call was humiliating. Emma had to explain that her fiancé had dumped her through a text message. Some people were sympathetic. Others gossiped behind her back. Worst of all, Emma saw on social media that Ryan had already changed his relationship status. He was now in a relationship with Amanda, a beautiful blonde woman. The photos showed them looking happy together. Amanda was wearing expensive jewelry, probably bought with Emma's wedding deposit money. Emma's students' parents found out. Some looked at her with pity. Emma felt like everyone was staring at her, judging her, feeling sorry for her. She had never felt so small and worthless in her entire life. Emma fell into deep depression. She stopped eating properly. She lost weight. She barely slept. At school, she tried to stay strong for her students, but during breaks, she would cry in the bathroom. Her principal, Mr. Davis, called her into his office. "Emma, maybe you need some time off. You're clearly going through something difficult." "I need to work," Emma said. "Work is the only thing keeping me together." But at night, alone in the apartment full of memories, Emma felt like she was drowning in pain. She looked at wedding magazines she had collected. She saw the wedding dress hanging in her closet. She remembered all the plans and dreams that were now destroyed. Why wasn't I enough? She asked herself over and over. What did Amanda have that I didn't? Lisa was worried. "Emma, you need to stop blaming yourself. Ryan is a horrible person. This isn't about you." But Emma couldn't help feeling like she had failed somehow. 2 months passed. Emma was slowly learning to function again, though the pain was still intense. Then one evening, she received a message on social media from someone named Jessica Wung. "Hi, Emma. You don't know me, but I know Ryan Carter. I need to talk to you. It's important. Can we meet?" Emma was suspicious. Was this another cruel joke? But something in the message made Emma curious. She agreed to meet Jessica at a coffee shop. Jessica turned out to be a professional-looking woman in her early 30s. She looked nervous. "Thank you for meeting me," Jessica said. "I know this is strange, but I needed to warn you about something." "Warn me about what?" Emma asked. Jessica took a deep breath. "Ryan Carter did the same thing to me 3 years ago." Emma's eyes widened. "What do you mean?" Jessica explained that she had dated Ryan for 3 years. He proposed to her. They planned a wedding. Then, 1 week before the wedding, Ryan broke up with her through a text message. "He said he couldn't go through with it," Jessica said. "He disappeared with all the wedding money. I later found out he had been cheating on me with another woman." Emma felt sick. "So this is what he does. He's done this before." "I think so," Jessica said. "After it happened to me, I did some research. I found at least 2 other women who had similar stories with Ryan. He dates women for a few years, gets engaged, takes their money, then dumps them and moves on to someone new." "But why?" Emma asked. "Why would someone do that?" "I don't know," Jessica replied. "Maybe he's afraid of commitment. Maybe he's just a con artist. Maybe he enjoys hurting people. But I saw your story on social media, and I couldn't stay silent. You deserve to know you're not alone, and you're not the reason this happened." Emma and Jessica decided to find the other victims. If Ryan had a pattern of doing this, maybe together they could stop him from hurting anyone else. They found Sarah, who Ryan had dated 5 years ago. Same story: engagement, stolen money, text message breakup. They found Michelle, who dated Ryan 7 years ago. She had almost married him, but he disappeared 2 days before the wedding. All 4 women met at Jessica's house. They compared stories and were shocked by the similarities. "He used the same lines on all of us," Sarah said. "The same promises, the same romantic gestures." "He targeted successful women with savings," Michelle noted. "He would take our money for wedding expenses, then disappear with it." This isn't just heartbreak, Emma realized. This is fraud. Ryan is a criminal. Lisa, who came to support Emma, had an idea. "My cousin is a private investigator. Maybe she can help us find out what Ryan is really doing with all this money." The women agreed. They pooled their money together and hired the investigator, a sharp woman named Detective Carmen Rodriguez. Detective Rodriguez worked fast. Within 2 weeks, she discovered shocking information about Ryan Carter. "Ladies," she said at their meeting, "Ryan Carter isn't just a serial heartbreaker. He's running a sophisticated con operation." She showed them files and photos. Ryan had been engaged to multiple women at the same time in different cities. He would date them all simultaneously, keeping them separate. "He uses the engagement money to fund a gambling addiction," Detective Rodriguez explained. "He's deeply in debt to some dangerous people. The wedding deposits you all gave him went straight to paying off gambling debts." "What about Amanda?" Emma asked. "His current girlfriend." "Amanda is his next victim," the detective said. "She doesn't know about any of you. She thinks she's the only one, and based on his pattern, he'll probably propose to her in about 6 months, take her money, then disappear. Emma felt a mix of emotions, anger at Ryan, but also concern for Amanda. Even though Amanda had been with Ryan while he was engaged to Emma, she was still a victim who didn't know what was coming. "We need to warn her," Emma said. "We need to do more than that," Jessica said firmly. "We need to stop Ryan from ever doing this again." The four women created a careful plan. First, they would gather all the evidence: emails, text messages, financial records, photos, everything. Detective Rodriguez helped them document everything properly. They had proof of Ryan's lies, his theft, his pattern of fraud. "We could go to the police," Michelle suggested. "We will," Emma said. "But I want to do something else first. I want Ryan to know what it feels like to be humiliated and exposed." Lisa looked at Emma with surprise. Her quiet, kind friend was showing a side she'd never seen before. "What are you thinking?" Lisa asked. Emma's eyes were hard. "Ryan humiliated me publicly with that breakup. He made me feel worthless. Now it's his turn to feel that pain." The women agreed. They would expose Ryan publicly before involving the police. He would face social consequences for his actions. But they had to be smart about it. Ryan still didn't know they had connected with each other. Emma volunteered to contact Amanda. It would be difficult. Amanda was the woman Ryan had cheated with, but Emma knew Amanda deserved to know the truth. Emma sent Amanda a message. "Hi, Amanda. My name is Emma Martinez. I need to talk to you about Ryan. It's urgent. Please meet me." Amanda was suspicious, but agreed to meet at a neutral location. When they met, Amanda was defensive. "If you're trying to get Ryan back, forget it. He chose me." "I don't want him back," Emma said calmly. "I want to save you from what he's going to do to you." Emma told Amanda everything about the other women, the pattern, the stolen money, the gambling debts. "You're lying," Amanda said, but her voice was uncertain. Emma showed her the evidence: photos, emails, testimony from the other victims. Amanda's face went pale. No, this can't be true. Ryan loves me." "That's what he told all of us," Emma said gently. "I'm sorry, Amanda. I know this hurts, but you need to know the truth before he takes your money and breaks your heart too." Amanda didn't want to believe it. She left the meeting angry and confused. But doubt had been planted. Over the next few days, Amanda started noticing things. Ryan was always secretive with his phone. He had weird excuses for where he was. He kept asking about her savings account. Amanda did her own investigation. She followed Ryan one evening and saw him meeting with a woman at a restaurant, another woman the group didn't even know about yet. Heartbroken and furious, Amanda finally accepted the truth. Ryan had been using her, just like he used all the others. Amanda called Emma. "I believe you, and I want to help you take him down." Now there were 5 women working together. 5 women who Ryan had betrayed. 5 women who wanted justice. "Ryan thinks women are weak," Jessica said. "He thinks we'll just cry and move on. He's about to learn he's very wrong." They chose a Saturday evening to strike. Ryan was hosting a big party at a fancy hotel to celebrate closing a major real estate deal. All his friends, family, and coworkers would be there. The women created a video. Each of them told their story: how Ryan had deceived them, stolen from them, and broken their hearts. They included all the evidence: engagement photos, text messages, financial records showing the stolen money. At exactly 8 p.m., while Ryan's party was in full swing, they posted the video on every social media platform. They tagged Ryan, his company, his family, and all his friends. Within minutes, the video started going viral. People at Ryan's party checked their phones and saw the video. Whispers spread through the room. Everyone was staring at their screens, then at Ryan. Ryan's face turned white as his phone exploded with notifications. He tried to laugh it off. "This is fake. These women are crazy." But too many people recognized the evidence as real. By Sunday morning, Ryan's life was destroyed. The video had millions of views. News outlets picked up the story. Local real estate agent exposed as serial con artist, read one headline. Ryan's real estate company fired him immediately. They didn't want to be associated with a fraud. His friends abandoned him. His family was humiliated and angry. His mother called Emma, crying and apologizing for her son's behavior. Most importantly, the women he was currently scamming all found out the truth and left him. Ryan tried to delete his social media accounts, but it was too late. Screenshots and copies of the video were everywhere. He posted a long apology online, claiming he had issues and needed help, but no one believed him. The evidence was too clear. The police contacted Emma and the other women. With Detective Rodriguez's help, they filed official charges against Ryan for fraud and theft. Ryan was arrested at his apartment. Cameras caught him being led away in handcuffs. The man who had seemed so confident and successful now looked small and pathetic. Ryan's trial began 3 months later. Emma and the other 4 women testified about what he had done to them. The prosecutor showed the jury all the evidence, the pattern of deception, the stolen money, the lies. Ryan's lawyer tried to argue that Ryan was just a commitment phobe who made mistakes, but the jury saw through it. One juror later said, "This wasn't about cold feet. This was systematic fraud. He deliberately targeted these women, stole their money, and destroyed their trust in relationships." During the trial, even more victims came forward. Women from other cities who had experienced the same thing. In total, Ryan had scammed at least 12 women over 10 years, stealing over $200,000. The gambling debts explained where some of the money went. But investigators also found that Ryan had used the money for expensive cars, luxury trips, and jewelry, probably to impress his next victims. Emma sat in the courtroom every day, watching Ryan squirm. Part of her still remembered the man she thought she loved, but that man had never really existed. The jury found Ryan guilty on multiple counts of fraud and theft. The judge was harsh in sentencing. "Mr. Carter, you systematically targeted vulnerable women who loved you. You exploited their trust and stole their money. Worse, you destroyed their ability to trust future relationships. You've caused immeasurable emotional harm." Ryan was sentenced to 6 years in prison and ordered to pay back all the money he stole, plus additional damages for emotional distress. His real estate license was permanently revoked. His reputation was destroyed. When he eventually got out of prison, he would be a registered con artist with a criminal record. Emma watched as they led Ryan away in handcuffs. He looked at her one time, and she saw something in his eyes, maybe regret, maybe anger, maybe just the realization that he had finally faced consequences for his actions. Emma felt nothing, not satisfaction, not anger, not sadness, just a sense of closure. Outside the courthouse, reporters surrounded the 5 women. They had become symbols of women standing up against men who hurt them. "How do you feel about the verdict?" a reporter asked Emma. "Justice was served," Emma said simply. "But more than that, we proved that women shouldn't be ashamed when men hurt them. We should stand together and fight back." The months after the trial were healing time. Emma went to therapy to process her trauma and trust issues. "It's normal to have difficulty trusting again after what you experienced," her therapist explained. "But don't let Ryan's actions destroy your ability to love. Not all men are like him." Emma focused on herself. She took art classes she'd always wanted to try. She traveled with Lisa to places she'd dreamed of seeing. She spent quality time with her family. Her students at school became her joy. "Miss Martinez seems happy again," she overheard one parent say. The 5 women, Emma, Jessica, Sarah, Michelle, and Amanda, became close friends. They met monthly for dinner, supporting each other through their healing journeys. "We turned something horrible into something meaningful," Jessica said. "We found each other, and we stopped Ryan from hurting anyone else." They decided to do more. They started a support group for women who had been victims of relationship fraud. They spoke at conferences about recognizing the warning signs of con artists. Their story inspired other victims to come forward about their experiences. A publisher approached Emma about writing a book telling her story. At first, Emma was hesitant. "I don't want to relive all that pain," she told Lisa. "But think about how many women you could help," Lisa encouraged. "Your story could save someone from going through what you did." Emma agreed. She spent 6 months writing the text that changed everything, how one breakup message led to justice. The book became a bestseller. Women everywhere related to Emma's story of heartbreak and revenge. But more importantly, they were inspired by her strength and resilience. Emma donated half the book profits to organizations helping victims of fraud and domestic abuse. The other women from Ryan's past contributed their stories to the book as well, and they shared the proceeds. Emma appeared on talk shows and news programs. She became an advocate for stronger laws against relationship fraud. "What happened to me was devastating," Emma would say in interviews. "But I refused to let it define me. I refused to let Ryan win. And I want other women to know they don't have to accept being victimized either." From prison, Ryan started sending letters to Emma. At first, she threw them away without reading them. But her therapist suggested she might find closure by reading them, so Emma finally opened one. "Dear Emma," it began, "I know you probably hate me. I hate myself too. I'm in therapy here in prison trying to understand why I did what I did. The truth is, I was broken. My father abandoned my mother and I watched her struggle. I developed this twisted fear of commitment mixed with anger toward women. I hurt people because I was hurt. I know that doesn't excuse what I did, but I want you to know I'm truly sorry." The letter continued with more apologies and explanations. Ryan talked about his gambling addiction, his childhood trauma, his mental health issues. Emma read the letter twice. Then she wrote back not to forgive him, but to tell him how his actions had affected her. "Ryan, I don't hate you. I pity you. You threw away real love because of your issues. You hurt innocent people. I hope you get the help you need, but I also hope you understand that sorry isn't enough. Actions have consequences. You're facing yours now." She never wrote to him again. That one letter was enough for closure. 2 years after the breakup text, Emma's life looked completely different. She had been promoted to assistant principal at her school. She had published a successful book. She had a circle of strong, supportive friends. Most surprisingly, she had started dating again. His name was David Chen, a kind pediatrician she met through a mutual friend. He was patient with Emma's trust issues. He never pressured her. He let her heal at her own pace. "I'm scared," Emma admitted on their third date. "I'm scared of being hurt again." "I understand," David said gently. "Take all the time you need. I'm not going anywhere." Unlike Ryan, David's actions matched his words. He was consistent, honest, and respectful. He met Emma's friends and family. He never hid his phone or made excuses. Slowly, Emma's heart began to heal. She learned that not all men were like Ryan. Some men were genuinely good. Lisa was thrilled. "I'm so happy for you, Emma. You deserve this." "I never thought I'd be able to trust again," Emma confessed. "But David is showing me that love doesn't have to hurt." One Saturday, Emma was shopping at the mall with David when she saw a familiar face. It was Ryan's mother, Mrs. Carter. They made eye contact, and Emma saw tears in the older woman's eyes. Mrs. Carter approached slowly. "Emma, I know you probably don't want to talk to me." "It's okay," Emma said. David squeezed her hand supportively. "I just wanted to say I'm so sorry for what my son did to you," Mrs. Carter said, crying. "I raised him better than that. I don't know where I went wrong. He destroyed so many lives, including his own. I'm ashamed to be his mother." Emma felt unexpected sympathy. "Mrs. Carter, this wasn't your fault. Ryan made his own choices." "You're kind to say that," Mrs. Carter said. "I saw your book. I read every word. I'm proud of how strong you've become. And I'm glad Ryan is finally facing consequences. Maybe prison will help him become the man he should have been." They talked for a few more minutes, then parted ways. "That was very mature of you," David said as they walked away. "Ryan hurt her too," Emma replied. "She lost her son to his own actions. I can't hate her for that." 3 years after the breakup text, Emma received a call from the prison. Ryan was being released early for good behavior. Emma felt anxious. What if he tried to contact her? What if he wanted revenge for the exposure? But Detective Rodriguez, who had become a friend, reassured her. Ryan knows if he contacts any of you, he'll violate his parole and go straight back to prison. He's not stupid enough to risk that. Still, Emma felt unsettled. Part of her was nervous, but another part was curious. Had Ryan really changed? A few weeks after his release, Emma got her answer. Ryan posted a video online, a genuine apology. He looked older, thinner, more tired. I want to apologize to all the women I hurt, he said. Emma, Jessica, Sarah, Michelle, Amanda, and others whose names I don't have permission to say. What I did was unforgivable. I can't take it back, but I can acknowledge it. I was a coward who broke up with Emma through a text because I couldn't face my own failures. I stole money from people who trusted me. I destroyed lives for selfish reasons. I've spent 3 years in prison thinking about this. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I want you all to know that I'm getting help, and I will never hurt anyone like that again. Emma watched the video with mixed feelings. The apology seemed sincere, but words were easy. Actions mattered more. Emma decided to respond to Ryan's apology not privately, but publicly. She posted a video of her own. 3 years ago, Ryan Carter broke my heart with a text message. At first, I felt destroyed. I felt worthless. I questioned everything about myself. But then something amazing happened. I met other women he hurt. Together, we found strength. We exposed his crimes. We got justice. And I learned something important. I am not defined by how someone else treated me. I am defined by how I responded to that treatment. Did I respond perfectly? No. I was angry and hurt and wanted revenge. But I also found healing, built community, and became an advocate for others. So yes, Ryan, I accept your apology. Not because you deserve forgiveness, but because holding on to anger was hurting me more than it was hurting you. I've moved on. I've healed. I've found real love with a good man. I'm happy now. That's the best revenge, being happy despite what you did to me. The video went viral just like the original exposure video had. But this time, the message was different. It wasn't about revenge, it was about healing. People commented with their own stories of heartbreak and recovery. Emma's message resonated with millions who had been hurt and were trying to move forward. 1 year later, Emma stood in a beautiful garden, wearing a wedding dress. But this time, the wedding actually happened. David waited at the altar, tears in his eyes as Emma walked down the aisle. Her father proudly walked beside her. Lisa was the maid of honor. Jessica, Sarah, Michelle, and Amanda were bridesmaids, the sisters Emma found through shared pain. As Emma said her vows, she thought about how far she had come. 4 years ago, she received a text message that shattered her world. She had felt broken, humiliated, and worthless. But she had fought back. She had found strength she didn't know she had. She had turned pain into purpose. She had helped other victims find justice. She had written a book that inspired thousands. And most importantly, she had learned to trust and love again. I promise to love you, respect you, and be honest with you, David said in his vows. I promise to never take you for granted. I promise to be the partner you deserve. Emma smiled through happy tears. This time she was marrying the right person. This time love felt safe and real. At the reception, Emma's father gave a toast. When Ryan broke Emma's heart, I wanted to hurt him. But Emma taught me something better. Justice and healing are more powerful than revenge. My daughter took the worst moment of her life and turned it into something meaningful. I've never been more proud. Later, as Emma and David danced, Lisa came over and hugged her friend. You did it, Em, Lisa whispered. You survived, you thrived, you won. Emma looked around at all the people who loved her, her family, her friends, her students who had come to celebrate. Ryan thought that text message would destroy me, Emma said. He had no idea it would make me stronger. Little did he know what was coming. She kissed David and smiled. Her life was full of real love, genuine friendship, and hard-won happiness. The text message that broke her heart had led her to the life she was always meant to have. And that was the sweetest revenge of all.